So before I hit record to get this episode started this week, I realized I'd been putting it off. I have just been tired, exhausted, too much going on, too much on my plate. My to-do list is a mile long, and this was just another thing I had to get done, and the joy of it wasn't there. So I put it off, and I put it off, and now here I am the night before it's supposed to go out, and I'm recording. And I'm sitting here looking over my list of podcast episode ideas and my notes and things, because I got plenty of them, but my heart's not in it, and I can't figure out why. So I just started writing, and I realized I'm tired. And that's what we're going to talk about. Being tired and how to listen to your body and listen to your inner voice telling you that you're tired and what to do about it. How do we get out of this state of tired and exhaustion, and how do we move back to that state of being productive and not feeling just exhausted? And just what do we do about it? Hey mama, are you struggling with how to make time for yourself as a work-at-home mom? Are you drowning in laundry and dishes, poopy diapers, and kids who are constantly screaming, "Mom," even though they're 5 feet away from you? I get it. I'm Jessa Ray, and this is Caught Up in Motherhood, where I want to help you set priorities, create boundaries, ask for help, and learn to love yourself in motherhood again. You can show up for you without sacrificing motherhood and without the guilt. So if you're ready to be caught up in motherhood, then go grab a fresh cup of coffee and that laundry basket sitting in the corner. Don't worry, I've got mine too. And listen in to today's episode. Okay, so something has to give. There is just too much going on, too much that needs to happen, to be done. The to-do list just feels that much heavier right now than it has in the last couple of months. More so than it did before I had my surgery or before the holidays and all these other things. Like, just, I'm in the moment. So right now, this to-do of what happens right now feels the heaviest because I'm in it. And it really got me thinking about, what do we do when we are tired and exhausted and overwhelmed by the to-do list, the never-ending list of things that we need to do, and just feeling like we can't get caught up? And how do we take the time to realize what we need and what is a priority, and how do we move forward with that? So from my own experiences the last couple of days here to what I'm planning on doing going forward this week and what I've done so far this week, I just wanted to go over what I've been going through in regards to being tired and overwhelmed, and what I am actively doing currently to not feel so exhausted right now. And I know a lot of it is hormones, absolutely. And if you got any good book recs or other podcast recs on that, oh my goodness, please DM me on Instagram on those, because I know that some of this is that postpartum stuff that's going on that I need to deal with. I just don't know where to start. But I am going to start here, and I'm going to talk about the exhaustion and what I'm doing about it. So I don't know what it was, but this morning, okay? This morning and over the weekend, no, Friday as well, I just had this overwhelming urge of everything being dirty, right? Everything was just dirty and disgusting, and I couldn't handle it. The floors were dirty. There was toys everywhere. I mean, I have 3 kids. There's toys everywhere all the time. The laundry was here and there. The basement's destroyed. The house is just chaos. And I didn't know what to do with it, and I was just completely overwhelmed. So the first thing I did was have a cup of coffee, because I cannot function without my coffee. So I had my cup of coffee. I got some baby cuddles, because my almost 2-year-old right now is extremely cuddly and extremely needy, and I'm sure a part of that is him feeding off of my energy, because I'm sure I have very anxious kind of high energy right now too. So I'm sure he's feeding off of that a little bit. But I got some cuddles and had some coffee. I just got to sit there for a little bit in the morning because, we have to get up at 4:30 and just kind of think about, what do I need right now to not feel so overwhelmed and like the house is just disgusting and I can't manage. And taking that couple minutes while getting those cuddles in, I was able to really think about, what do I need to do? Now, the first thing I did was look at my schedule and my calendar and be like, please have no meetings today. And lo and behold, I had no meetings. So that was a huge win. So I decided that I was doing the bare minimum when it came to work that day. It was a Friday. It's August. People are getting ready for school. There's other things going on. So I was in fire only mode, So I did not work unless I had to, unless something came up that needed my attention. Otherwise, I just let it go. That was a huge relief right there alone. Just knowing I had no meetings, giving myself that permission to take the day off, in essence, of worrying about or needing to take that nap time, hustle time, to work on a business. That I could take that nap time and clean or fold laundry or whatever it is that I decided I needed. And for me on Friday, that was cleaning. So giving myself that permission was a huge just wait right then and there. And then it was just, I started cleaning. And I don't know what it is about the damn kitchen, but the kitchen is my space and it needs to be clean. And that's always where I start when I decide I have to clean the whole house or I need to just clean in general, is I have to start with the kitchen. If I don't have a clean kitchen, the rest of the house, it doesn't matter because the kitchen's dirty. You eat 3 meals a day there. You have snacks there. Like, you congregate there. It is the heart of the home for my home. So the kitchen needs to always be clean. And it's always, the island is always the drop zone for all the things. So cleaning off that, 20 times a day too is a big deal. So I started with the kitchen. I cleaned the kitchen. Deep cleaned the kitchen. Like, I washed the backsplash, my tile backsplash, and I washed that, and I moved the, KitchenAid and the coffee pot and all that stuff off the counters, wiped on the counters, like, whole thing, okay? Whole thing. I even cleaned the oven. I cleaned the damn oven. Did I need to? Nope, but I did. I cleaned the oven, I cleaned the fridge and the microwave and all those things, and I ordered groceries and got those delivered. So, huge win right there. Like, if I did nothing the rest of the day, like, big win. And that's what I did during nap time, was all of those things. So I felt super accomplished and just better about the space in general because I did those things. And then I moved into the living room. Now, my kids play in the living room, so I couldn't deep clean it, but my goal was to clean as best I could. I vacuumed as best I could. I'm still in a weight restriction, so I'm not allowed to move the furniture, unfortunately. So that was a little difficult for me because I'm used to moving my couches at least once a week to, get all the toys and the crumbs from behind them. So I had to leave those there because I couldn't move them. But I vacuumed. I went through the toys and cleaned those up a little bit, the ones covered in food and boogers and things. And got those washed. And then I just let myself be with the kids. And we played. We're really into Legos and puzzles right now. So we did Legos and puzzles and we played. And oh my goodness, did that help. Just to take that little bit of time to do a little bit of cleaning, to feel caught up that way. And then have that quality time with the kids, because I think feeling overwhelmed and tired and all these things, like, you lose sight of what's a priority, right? We think that the priority is the cleaning and the business and the money and the house and the bills, but the priority is the family unit. It's the memories, it's the experiences, it's togetherness. So taking that time with the kids to play with them and hang out with them, to sit on the floor, legitly sitting on the floor, was great. Very helpful. And then that evening, after everybody went to bed, I think I had a cup of tea and read a little bit of a book or watched a little bit of a show. I don't remember which, but I did one Friday night, and then Saturday or Sunday I did the other. And then I was in bed by like 8:30, 9 o'clock, I think. Yeah. Now, fast forward to today. Monday, right? It's the start of the week. I started a new client today with my project management business that I do on the side. And then I had other calls that I had today, and I took my oldest school supply shopping. And then my middle Arthur wanted to come with, so I took both of them with me to get school supplies and groceries done. That was a little difficult, but worth it. They had fun. It was good. Leary likes to run around a lot. We're working on that, but it was good. But my overwhelmed and tired and exhaustion from today was a different kind of exhaustion than it was from Friday. Friday was the house is dirty, I can't handle it, I don't know what I'm doing, overwhelmness. Today's was meetings and balancing entrepreneur with mom. And finding the right balance between those two is a constant struggle. And that balance, like marriage, is going to change every single day, right? Friday was, maybe 10% work, 90%, mom. Today was probably more entrepreneurial than mom because I was on calls from 10 o'clock and then again at 1. And then I did some other stuff on the computer, and didn't get to leave till like 2:30. And then it's the afternoon and evening routines with my kids. And my kids get up early, so we have an early dinner. So normally we have dinner at 5. They were also tired and off a little bit today that way. So we had dinner with the kids at like 4:40. And my younger two were in bed by like 6:30. And then Leroy went to bed. He wanted to stay up a little bit and hang out with mommy and daddy, so he got some alone time. We played some games. And he went to bed at like 7:30. And now here I am, recording this episode for you, thinking about the tiredness, do I really need to sit here and record an episode when I'm just tired? And the answer is yes, I do. Because I find the energy in doing it. Right? This is something that I enjoy doing, and I enjoy creating these episodes and taking the time to do this. This is something that I enjoy doing, a hobby in a lot of ways. That the tired is there in the beginning, but once you start, it starts to ebb away because you're enjoying what you're doing, like exercising, right? Getting to the gym or getting to do the exercise can be daunting, and oh my God, I don't want to. I'm so tired. I can't do it. I can't. And then you start doing it, and you're like, yeah, I can do this. I got this. One more rep. Let's go. Keep going. I mean, unless that's just me, but I can't be the only one that's like that. So now that I'm in it, it's like happy space. Okay, I got the energy back. We're good. We're going. We're rocking it. But it's getting here, right? It's getting over that hump of just starting. That can be so hard sometimes. And when you're in those moments and you're thinking about it and you're thinking, what do I need right now? Do I really need to record a podcast episode? Do I really need to work right now? And if the answer is no, which was my answer last night, then do the things that you need to do. So for me last night, it was a book and a cup of tea. I originally made a cup of tea to come down and record an episode, and then I decided that no, I'm too tired. I have another day. I'll do it tomorrow. And I went to bed early and I read my book for a little bit. The same book, mind you, that I have been trying to read since April. Yep. I probably have 115-ish pages left. And my goal is to finish it before the month is out. So I got like 10 days. I can do it. But I took that time to do the thing that would help re-energize me a little bit more, which was enjoying a good book and a cup of tea, because that just is relaxing. I have a chamomile lavender tea that I like to drink before bed just to help me calm down. And then I'm also trying to put the phone down before bed, right? The screen time right before you go to sleep, especially for me, does not work. Keeps me up, and then the brain goes, and then I'm doing the what if game, and then I'm doing the to-do list game, thinking about all the things that I need to do. And then you try to fall asleep, and that ain't gonna happen because your brain's going 100 million miles an hour. So if you're trying to relax or trying to figure out what you need to do and you're exhausted at night, I do strongly suggest a good book that you can enjoy because it shuts off those other parts of your brain because you're so engulfed in what you're reading and enjoying the story, whether it's fiction or nonfiction. You're enjoying what you're reading, that all of your worries and to-do lists, all those things just melt away because you're in this other world, right? And then having that cup of tea or that cup of water or sparkling water, whatever it is, just helps you, right, to relax a little bit more. But what about the middle of the day or in the morning when you're having these feelings and you don't know what you're going to do and how to manage it, because you can't just go to bed because, you're home alone with 3 kids. You can't just take a nap. What do you do then? Well, you get a cup of coffee if you drink coffee and you write it on paper. I don't know what it is, but it's something about getting it out of your head, right? And getting it on paper. Like you're freeing up the space because you got it out. You don't need to remember as much, right? You still remember it, but you don't need to have such a strong, like, don't forget, thing going on in your head because you wrote it down. So write it down, right? I started using my weekly calendar on my desk again because I am continually showing up at my desk every day at nap time again. And I'm starting to get back into a routine, right? The postpartum period here is more predictable. And the afterness of my last surgery is more predictable. Like things are starting to get into a pattern, a rhythm. And that is so exciting to have a pattern and a rhythm back into your daily life with not just this unknown of what are you doing when and where, that I'm starting to use my desk calendar a little bit more. And I was looking at it when I was writing in it. Like, I wonder how long it's been since I've used this. The week Alana was born. So December, 7 months ago, was the last time I filled out my little calendar on my desk. And that's okay. I wasn't in the point of time, the point of my life where it was beneficial for me to fill out this calendar. If I would have tried to fill it out anytime between December and now, it would have been a chore. It would have been another thing I had to do, and it wouldn't have been a tool that helped me. It would have been a burden. And it's understanding what's helpful and what's a burden. Even those things that are supposed to be helpful can be burdens. So if having a calendar, having one at your desk, having a calendar in your kitchen, I have 3 calendars, and those are helpful for me because I hate going on my phone to see my calendar. I hate it. I don't want it because I get distracted. I have all the notifications, not all, but I have a lot of the notifications for stuff turned off, but I still have to go on there to look at my calendar, and then, you get distracted. Oh, there's a new email. There's a new Instagram post. There's a new this. I like my paper calendars when I can have it. Now, I've gotten away from carrying a paper calendar in my purse, but I think I would enjoy getting back to that one day here. But right now, I think it would be too much, so I'm not doing it. But I like having the one on my desk because while I'm working, I can really easily glance over and see my meetings for the week and see my appointments and my to-dos. I have my top 10-ish to-dos for the week written on there. Just as quick reminders of, hey, this is important this week. And that alleviates a lot of that pressure and a lot of that feelings of tired and overwhelm for me because I can see it there and I can manage it because it's there. And then if you have your to-do list somewhere else in the house, like a home to-do list, just the random things, school supply shopping, groceries, fix this, fix that, call this person, or look at the bills for next month, whatever it is. Go buy the birthday present for so-and-so. Having that on the list and having that list somewhere in a common space, for me it's the island because it's the catch-all space, right? Having it there is super helpful because my husband and I have gotten to that point in our relationship where he looks at that list every day. I don't need to ask him. I don't need to tell him to do things all of the time. Do I still tell him to do things? Absolutely. Do I still remind him of things? Yes, I do. But I don't need to do it all the time because that list is there. and I can write my to-dos on there. I can write my to-dos that I think that he needs to do on that list. And then he can go read that list and say, I want to do X, Y, Z. And he can cross it out. And then he can irritate me because he likes to scribble it out and I don't like that. And you just, play the game. But my whole point is that we're getting it out. These things that are causing us to feel tired. And the other part of that is knowing when you're actually just tired because you didn't sleep last night, right? Young babies, young kids, there are those nights where you're just not gonna sleep and you're just tired. Those are the days, especially like when oh my goodness, I just got like 3 hours of sleep because I have this stupid watch and it told me that that's all I got. And you know that your exhaustion is from actual being tired versus being overwhelmed. Those are the days I would strongly encourage that you look at that calendar and you look at, okay, what can I push off? What is the bare minimum that I need to get done today? And then, you know what you do? You have a pajama day. Well, that's what we did Friday too. I knew there was something else. We had a pajama day. That's how exhausted and overwhelmed I was. We did a pajama day on Friday. I stayed in my jammies all day long, and so did my kids. I think the only one that technically somewhat got dressed, or at least changed clothes, was Alana, because she's learning how to crawl, and I wanted her knees and her feet free while she's learning how to grip and move around. So she's the only one that changed. She was still in loungewear, so it counts. We had a jammy day, right? So it's doing that bare minimum, looking at your schedule, looking at your calendar. What do I have to do and what can I put off? And really giving yourself that permission to say, that can wait a day. I can reschedule that call. I can move this. I can move that. I can order pizza for dinner or make the dinosaur nuggets or the mac and cheese tonight. Right? I can go to bed early. Okay, the kids are to bed. I waited 20 minutes, cleaned the kitchen. They're staying down. Now I'm going to go to bed. Do it. Go for it. The only person that is seriously stopping you is you. It's not your spouse. I guarantee you it's not your spouse. I guarantee you if you told him that you're tired and you just want to go to bed, his response is going to be, okay, honey, go to bed. And then you're going to make a face at him and be like, well, I have to do all these things. And he's going to be saying to you, no, you don't. It can wait till tomorrow. And then in your head, you're going to be like, well, no, I need to do the dishes. And he's like, who says you have to do them? Me? I do. I say I have to do them. You don't live with your mother anymore. You live with you, and you are the mom, and you get to make those decisions. No, I'm not saying you leave the dishes in the sink every single night because that does drive me up a damn wall. Personally, and that's my house. But I can tell you at this very second in time, there are dishes sitting in my sink. Why? Because my husband filled the dishwasher and he ran it, and it is currently running. We had dinner after the kids, made quesadillas on the Blackstone, and I rinsed everything out, and I left the dishes in the sink. And I gave myself permission, because everything's rinsed, that it can wait. It can wait. This right here makes me happy. This right here was more important. And when I'm done doing this, I'm taking a shower and going to bed. Because I have a long day tomorrow, and I know I do. And I want to give myself this opportunity to sleep a little bit and do the things that are a priority because I'm getting up at 4:30 in the frickin' morning. So think about the next time you're exhausted and overwhelmed and tired and you just want to quit. And give yourself the permission to take things off your plate. To not do everything. To ask for help, right? Order the groceries, order the takeout, tell your husband you need him to do X, Y, Z, or tell him, you know what, if you don't do it, no one's doing it today because I need a break. Do the minimum. Tell your kids we're having a jammy day. We're not doing anything. We're just going to lounge. We're going to watch movies all day. Okay? Watch movies all day. Play video games. Read a book. Just enjoy it. I mean, if you take something like a pajama day and you make it a treat, your kids are going to love it. My oldest asks me for a pajama day every day. He doesn't get one every day, but he asks me for one at least twice a week, if not 3 times a week, especially after we just had one. Then it's like every day for the next couple of days. Can we have another pajama day? No, we just had one today. We have to do this and this and this, so we can't do that today, but we should definitely do another one soon. And you can ask me again later, and so on and so forth. But the only one stopping you from relaxing, from fixing this tired and going to bed if that's what you need, from disconnecting from socials and from your phone in general or from work emails in general here, is you. You set the expectations. You set the standards. And don't say, well, I'm lowering my standards. No, you're not. You're adjusting them. You're adjusting them to the needs of your life right now. You're adjusting them to your priorities. And I can tell you, I used to be that person who always answered every single call or text or work thing the second it came in. And oh my goodness, is that exhausting to be like on call 24/7 like that? I mean, it was just email. And employee issues or client issues. But there came a point where I had to put those boundaries in place and be like, no, I'm not available during lunchtime. That's family time with my kids. I'm not available from 4 p.m. until 8 p.m. because that's bedtime routine things that are going on. So no. And that took some time. But I'm going to tell you, the person that had the hardest time with those boundaries and recreating that wheel of availability was me. Most of my clients said, okay. And if they did message me or something, they'd put something in there saying, this is fine, you can wait till tomorrow, I know you're not on right now. So I think they gave you that out in a lot of ways. And if you have someone in your life who does not respect those boundaries, then I think that relationship needs to be reviewed. But when it's you that you need to review with, I strongly encourage you to think about where those standards come from and why you hold yourself to that level. And then give yourself that permission to change. And if you need to, stand in front of the mirror and say it. Jessa, I give you permission to go to bed. And if you need help with that, for me, those first couple of years, those first couple of times of giving myself permission to not do something or, breaking those childhood stuffs, like cleaning your plate of food. I still make my husband do this sometimes. He has to take the plate. Like, oh, I'm so full, I can't eat another bite. You need to take my plate. But it took me a while to be able to verbalize and say, you need to do this for me, because I couldn't do it. Same thing with clothes. I could not donate or throw away clothes unless they had holes in them or were no longer something you could actually wear. And my husband, those first couple of years, would literally take the scissors and cut them up. Like, here you go, there's a hole in them, you can't wear it anymore. Now we can throw it away. So if you need a little bit of help in regards to giving yourself permission and changing your priorities, making these adjustments, maybe talk to your spouse. Maybe he can come up with some creative ideas to help you as well and help keep you motivated, right? Keep you moving a little bit, because sometimes we just need support to get through it and to get it done and to feel validated in some ways, because we don't validate ourselves enough. So let that be like the first step, right? Getting that support, and then eventually you'll just do it on your own and it'll be second nature and it'll be easier. Now, there will still be days, absolutely, but having that support can definitely help you move forward and go to bed and not feel so tired and overwhelmed. But there will always be those moments that they're going to come up, right? I mean, I had one today of feeling overwhelmed and tired, right? It's inevitable. It's going to happen. But it's how we respond to it and how we address those situations moving forward that's so important. So keep that in mind the next time you're tired and exhausted and just want to go to bed. And if the kids are in bed or you have a nanny or something, go do it. Go to bed. All right, Mama. Until next time, don't forget, you got this. Hey Mama, thanks for hanging out with me today. I know you have a lot going on, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen. I hope this episode gives you new energy to tackle the day. If so, could you leave a review and subscribe to the podcast so that you never miss an episode? That would mean the world to me. I'd also love to connect with you on Instagram, so send me a DM and let me know if this episode was helpful. I love hearing from you. Remember, Mama, you got this. Until next time, I'm Jessa Ray, and this is Caught Up in Motherhood.